Unless you are a die-hard Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, you wouldn't know that all the Marvel movies, when watched in the chronological order, will make perfect sense to you. It is as if they are the continuation of the other. Still, there are many who wouldn't know the viewing order for these. And that's why in today's video, we have all 23 MCU movies in chronological order. But before diving into the MCU timeline, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to our channel. The first film to bring superheroes to the world, to be precise in the modern era, is Captain America, the first Avenger of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The beginning of the film shows us America's role in World War II and the rise of a superhero whose moral compass and character are as remarkable as his improved superhuman skills, taking place between 1942 and 1945. As well as a short sketch in 2011, this movie is first in our list. The next film in this list is Captain Marvel. It is one of the most recent films in the series. Through its chronological placement, it is one of the earliest on the timeline. Here we follow a Kree-trained warrior named Verse in 1995, only to discover her terrestrial origins as the Air Force pilot Carol Danvers. She befriends a young Nick Fury along the way and learns the amazing magnitude of her strength. We move forward to 2008 with a film that started it all, Iron Man. Tony Stark, a billionaire weapons dealer for the US government and CEO of Stark Industries, was kidnapped by terrorists using his own weapon against him. Terrorists ask him to build weapons for them. Instead, he builds himself a prototype Iron Man suit and escapes from there. Later, he builds a subsequent line of suits that would characterize him as Iron Man. Iron Man 2 picks up after 6 months. Tony Stark, with a world now aware that he is Iron Man, faces pressure from all sides to share his technology with the military. He is hesitant to reveal his armored suit's secrets, afraid that the details will fall into the wrong hands. Tony must forge new alliances and confront a formidable new enemy. The Incredible Hulk is perhaps the most reckoned film in the MCU, having replaced both the lead actor in the role of Hulk, completely ignoring its timeline retroactively. The film makes it very clear on multiple occasions that it occurs in 2007, 5 years after scientist Bruce Banner desperately seeks a cure for the gamma radiation that contaminated his cells and turned him into the Hulk. Banner soon comes face to face with a new threat, a supremely powerful enemy known as the Abomination. Thor occurs in 2011 as the son of Odin, king of the Norse gods. Thor was to inherit the throne of Asgard from his aging father. However, on the day he is to be crowned, Thor reacts with brutality when the god's enemies, the Frost Giants, enter the palace in violation of their treaty. As punishment, Odin banishes Thor to Earth, while Loki, Thor's brother, plots mischief in Asgard. Thor, now stripped of his powers, faces his greatest threat. The Avengers occurs when Thor's evil brother Loki gains access to the unlimited power of the energy cube called the Tesseract. Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., initiates a superhero recruitment effort to defeat the unprecedented threat to Earth. Joining Fury's dream team are Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. While Loki is an immediate threat, we later find that Thanos was behind the invasion all along. Iron Man 3 shows us Tony Stark, who is plagued with worry and insomnia since saving New York from destruction. He is more dependent on the suits that give him his Iron Man persona, so much so that every aspect of his life is affected. After a malevolent enemy known as the Mandarin reduces his personal world to rubble, Tony must rely solely on instinct and ingenuity to avenge his losses and protect the people he loves. Thor, the Dark World, naturally comes next. The gods of Asgard fought and won a war in ancient times against an evil race known as the Dark Elves. These survivors were neutralized, and a secret location was buried with their ultimate weapon, the Ether. Jane Foster discovers the Ether and becomes its host hundreds of years later, prompting Thor to take her to Asgard ground before Dark Elf Malekith catches her and uses the weapon to destroy the 9 realms, including Earth. The convergence occurred in 2013. With Captain America, Winter Soldier, we find ourselves in 2014. After the cataclysmic events in New York with his fellow Avengers, Captain America lives in the nation's capital. An attack on a S.H.I.E.L.D. colleague throws Rogers into a web of intrigue that places the whole world at risk. Joining forces with his allies, Rogers struggles to expose an ever-widening conspiracy, but he and his team soon come up against an unexpected enemy from Steve's past. As we discover, it's his old friend Bucky, who has become the Winter Soldier. Next up is the Guardians of the Galaxy. Takes place 26 years after the abduction in 1988 of Peter Quill, a young boy from Missouri. Peter now goes by the name of Star-Lord to take down the Kree radical Ronan the Accuser with other galactic misfits. We're also introduced to the Thanos family in Gamora and Nebula. Without further information, we can only conclude that Guardians of the Galaxy occurs sometime during 2014, shortly after the Winter Soldier. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 occurs only a few short months after the first film, which is late 2014. Peter Quill and his fellow Guardians are hired by a powerful alien race, the Sovereign, to protect their precious batteries from invaders. When it's discovered that Rocket has stolen the items they were sent to guard, the Sovereign dispatches their armada to search for vengeance. As the Guardians try to escape, the mystery of Peter's parentage is revealed. Next up, we have the Avengers Age of Ultron. When Tony Stark jumpstarts a dormant peacekeeping program, things go terribly awry, forcing the Avengers to reassemble. As the fate of Earth hangs in the balance, the team is put to the ultimate test as they battle Ultron, a technological terror hell-bent on human extinction. This event takes place in the summer of 2015. The next film is Ant-Man, which takes place some short months later. Forced out his own company by former protege Darren Cross, Dr. Hank Pym recruits the talents of Scott Lang, a master thief just released from prison. Lang becomes Ant-Man, trained by Pym and armed with the suit that allows him to shrink in size, possess superhuman strength, and control an army of ants. The miniature hero must use his new skills to prevent Cross, also known as Yellow Jacket, from perfecting the same technology and using it as a weapon for evil. We're also introduced to Quantum Realm, which is crucial to the future of the MCU. Now we have Captain America: Civil War. Political pressure mounts to install a system of accountability when the actions of the Avengers lead to collateral damage. The new status quo deeply divides members of the team. Captain America believes superheroes should remain free to defend humanity without government interference. Iron Man sharply disagrees and supports oversight. The debate escalates into an all-out feud. The film occurs in the early months of 2016. On Captain America: Civil War, they introduce Spider-Man, and that brings us to Spider-Man: Homecoming. Thrilled by his experience with the Avengers, young Peter Parker returns home to live with his Aunt May. Under the watchful eye of mentor Tony Stark, Parker starts to embrace his newfound identity as Spider-Man. Peter must soon put his powers to the test when the evil Vulture emerges to threaten everything that he holds dear. Doctor Strange comes next in our timeline. Dr. Stephen Strange's life changes after a car ancient robbed him of the use of his hands. When traditional medicine fails him, he looks for healing and hope in a mysterious enclave. He quickly learns that the enclave is at the front line of a battle against unseen dark forces bent on destroying reality. Strange chooses to defend the world as the most powerful sorcerer in existence. These events take place at the end of 2016. Next, we have the Black Panther. After the death of his father, T'Challa returns home to the African nation of Wakanda to take his rightful place as king. When a powerful enemy suddenly appears, T'Challa's mettle as king and as Black Panther gets tested when he's drawn into a conflict that puts the fate of Wakanda and the entire world at risk. Faced with treachery and danger, the young king must rally his allies and release the full power of Black Panther to defeat his foes and secure the safety of his people. In Thor: Ragnarok, the mighty Thor is imprisoned on the other side of the universe, where he finds himself in a deadly gladiatorial contest. that pits him against the Hulk, his former ally and fellow Avenger. Thor's quest for survival leads him in a race against time to prevent the all-powerful Hela from destroying his home world and the Asgardian civilization. Ant-Man and the Wasp occurred in 2017. Scott Lang is grappling with the consequences of his choices as both a superhero and a father. Approached by Hope Van Dyne and Dr. Hank Pym, Lang must once again don the Ant-Man suit and fight alongside the Wasp. Avengers Infinity War occurs in 3 days with a climatic snap in 2017. The Avengers unite to battle their most powerful enemy yet, the evil Thanos, on a mission to collect all 6 Infinity Stones. Thanos plans to use the artifacts to inflict his twisted will on reality. The fate of the planet and existence itself has never been more uncertain. Next we have Avengers Endgame. The sequel to Infinity War follows after 5 years. That is 2023. Adrift in space with no food or water, Tony Stark sends a message to Pepper Potts as his oxygen supply starts to dwindle. Meanwhile, the remaining Avengers must figure out a way to bring back their vanquished allies for an epic showdown with Thanos, the evil demigod who decimated the planet and the universe. And last is Spider-Man: Far From Home. Peter Parker's relaxing European vacation takes an unexpected turn when Nick Fury shows up in his hotel room to recruit him for a mission. The world is in danger as 4 massive elemental creatures emerge from a hole torn in the universe. Parker soon finds himself donning the Spider-Man suit to help Fury to stop the evil entities from wreaking havoc across the continent. So that's it for this video, guys. Be sure to subscribe and tell us your thoughts about this. See you soon!